Um, just a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing today and who made this possible. We have a organization, really it's a coalition of organizations that work with folk to get their needs met when they come home from incarceration, that address the needs of our constituency as far as legislation needs, policy needs, dealing with employers that aren't comfortable with hiring former offenders. We have designated our population as returning citizens. We're citizens, we're required to pay taxes, required to do the things that every other citizen has to do in our community. And so we are considering ourselves returning citizens. We've returned home, we've paid our debt to society, so we want the full restoration of our civil liberties when we come home. And those are the things that the Support Network for Returning Citizens is fighting to do. Now, this particular coalition is made up of several organizations, and some of the representatives are in the room, and we'll give them an opportunity to say something real brief. But we found that in order to speak power to power, in order to get our needs met, get our concerns addressed by politicians, we have to organize. We have to be strategic. We have to think about voting as a block. There's a conservative number of folks that have a criminal history living in Philadelphia. Out of the 1.5 folks living in Philadelphia, we're looking at approximately 350,000 of that population that have a criminal history, maybe off parole, crime was years ago. So the Support Network for Returning Citizens is galvanizing this part of the community to pressure, to encourage our political officials, public officials, business owners to take our needs seriously. My name is Thomas Ford. I founded an organization called Exit Us, and it deals with the same issues that the Support Network for Returning Citizens is dealing with. We want to engage with candidates before they get elected. Let them see the face of someone who was incarcerated. It's not the person on TV. It's not the guy in the hood, in the hoodie, and all these different disparaging type labels. It's a person that's living next door to you. And so Exodus tries to work with the population. We organize, we're leading this movement. And there's a lot of folks with criminal histories that are major players. They're entrepreneurs. They're in public positions. And they're making positive impacts in their own communities. So we need to recognize these folks. And I see a lot of those folks in this room. There's a lot of folks in this room that you would never know that, you know, they've had scrape with the law, they've come out, they've got themselves together, they're taking care of their families. And we need the candidates to know about us, because we're the ones that's going to determine whether you get elected and whether you get re-elected. So the things you say here on the mic today, we're taking serious. We're taking serious. And we're going to hold you accountable when it comes time to either re-elect. I think it's retention for the judges. It's a yes or no vote. We're going to take these things very seriously. We have the candidate that's running for district attorney's office, Daniel Alvarez. He called me. He said he will be here. He's on his way, caught in traffic. We have some of the city controller candidates that will be here. We're going to work with the candidates as they come, so it's a first come, first served basis. I see 2 candidates here already, and we're going to respect their time. They have 2 or 3 other places to be, so we're going to let them speak first, and we're going to ask them questions. So while they're speaking, you have to write your questions down. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity. You don't know who these candidates are. They're not on TV. There's no ads. It's not like the presidential election. So this is your opportunity to get to know the candidates that are running for these very, very important positions. So please, write your questions down. We want to ask the candidates your questions. If it has to do with judicial issues, it has to do with the city controller, it has to do with the district attorney, be prepared. We will ask your question for you if you're not comfortable. So please, keep that in mind as the candidates are speaking. Just a few housekeeping issues. The bathrooms are at the top of the steps to the left.